Hello everyone, I'm your host Roosevelt and welcome back to another episode of Movie Screams. Movie Screams. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Cindy Santana here on Movie Screams. Hi Cindy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Pretty okay. I'm doing fine now that you're here. So how have you been?
Pretty good. You know, everything's going great.
Excellent. I heard that well, we didn't hear it. You told us you're a model, and that we also heard that you're a pretty successful and up-and-coming model. So tell us about that. How did you get started?
Well, it started when I was about 9 or 10. I always looked up to one of my aunts. She wasn't actually a model, like, you know, no magazines or anything, but in my eyes, she was a supermodel because she always took care of her body and always dressed super nice, and so ever since then, I've always pursued that dream.
Okay. What role would you play in a horror movie, the villain or the hero?
I would have to be the villain.
If so, why?
Because it's so much fun being mean.
What do you like about scary movies?
I love the adrenaline rush you get and not knowing what's gonna happen next.
And what would you do if the guy you're dating turned into a zombie?
I would just have to shoot him with a 12-gauge shotgun.
And if you woke up one day to find your home swarming with the living dead, how long would you last?
I would last till the end. I know I would. I tend to survive through a lot of things.
Okay.
So I know I'll make it.
Then, all right, let's take this scenario for example. Cindy Santana. The news interrupts and proclaims a nationwide emergency that the dead are not dying and attacking the living. What do you do?
First, steal some Hummers, steal a lot of gas and food, and load up on guns and barricade my house.
That's a good. Well, it sounds like I don't know, like a scenario from I Am Legend.
Definitely. I love that movie.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. You're driving your car around. You realize your friend was bitten by a vampire, and she's turning yellow. What do you do?
Open her door and kick her out. Sorry.
Hey, she will turn eventually.
Oh, yeah.
How about this? You're the last woman on earth, but you're not alone. What do you do?
I would stay away from whatever creature is following me as long as possible.
Good answer. Name some of your favorite horror movies.
Last House on the Left, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
So you kind of like the supernatural, kind of like paranormal activities kind of thing?
Oh, definitely Paranormal Activity.
Okay. And so what are your long-term career goals?
Well, actually, I'm hoping I can be a shoe designer because I already have a lot of drawings and ideas just keep building up in my head. So I just need to get them on paper, and hopefully I can get that started soon.
Are you saying like designs for men's shoes, women's shoes, or?
Right now I'm just focusing on women's shoes because they're just so easy to design.
Right.
Like I'm going to have pumps, wedges, sandals, and I'm starting to get into sneakers too, designing those.
Okay. So do you have a fan site, website, or anything like that where people can kind of like get a hold of you?
I don't use Twitter much, but I do get on Facebook a few times a week. It's cindy.santana.969.
Okay. And I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. It was a pleasure having you.
Well, thank you for having me. I had a good time.
Right here in the forest that we call the forest of fun, the forest of blood. Right here on Movie Screams with the lovely Cindy Santana, darling, on our show. So check out her fan site on Facebook. If you have any projects coming up, you should look this lady up because she has a future in the modeling industry, and she has a future in film, television, and who knows what else.